With friends like these, who needs enemies? Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and happy Halloween. Today we are teaching how to play Betrayal at House on a Hill.
Betrayal.
In a way a cooperative game, in a way a player versus player game. This is an intense game in which it has two parts. It has the pre-haunt and the haunt phase. And things are tense because you never know who's going to betray who in Betrayal at House on a Hill. But today we'll be talking about how to set up, how to play, and how to win Betrayal. I will preface this by saying how to win can be a number of different ways depending on which haunt you get. There are 50 different haunts in this and every single one of them are different. And that is what is really fun about this game, is that you can unleash a whole different game depending on what happens in the game itself. So, however, before we get to there, let's look at setup. Setup for the game. We're setting up today for a 4-player game. This is what it should look like. 3 different places here that each have this little L on it. And basically what that means is that it's a starting piece. And you'll place this in the middle here, as long as it has entrance hall. And you also have the upper landing, which has an L. And you have the basement landing, which has an L as well. Now, every player will choose a character to start with. I've went ahead and selected 4 for this 4-player game. We have Red, who is Joseph Broseph Hooper. We have Yellow, who is Anita Hernandez. We have Purple, who is Michelle Monroe. And we have Green, who is Jaden Jones. So, they've each chosen their characters. You will take a character, and you will put these little swords on them. And these swords are just little clips that slide on. You need to make sure that everyone is matching to the green sign on each of the 4 attributes. The 4 attributes are speed, might, knowledge, and sanity. As far as there are some delineations in the game between physical and mental. Mental, of course, works towards knowledge and or sanity. And physical works towards might and or speed. All of these characters who are in the game go here onto the board, and they all start in the entrance hall. So, we've done that. These are different locations in which can pop up into the game, and we'll shuffle them up and set them in a stack or 2. Next thing, you have these 3 different types of cards: items, omens, and events. Go ahead and take each section, shuffle them up, and then store them next to the board. You also have 8 dice that need to be here within reach. And everyone needs to get a player reference card. This kind of explains all the actions you can do on your turn. And we'll get into that in a minute with play. Last thing you need to decide here, which type of scenario are you doing? Is it a mysterious invitation? Is everyone cursed? Is there a strange disappearance? Paranormal investigators, or for sale? So why are these people here? You can choose one, or you can draw randomly and see what happens. Let's choose the for sale. How about that? Once you've done all that, you are ready to play the game. Next thing we're looking at is playthrough. So on a person's turn, in order to determine who goes first, you look at the birth dates on these characters. Whoever is closest will go first. Let's just start from the top here. Let's say Broseph is the nearest one. So Broseph now has his turn. What he can do on his turn is listed out on this player reference sheet here, which everyone has one. First thing you can do is you can move. You can move a number of spaces equal to your speed. Now, Broseph's speed is 4, so he can move up to 4 spaces. However, once he has moved into a new room, he stops his turn. So, on his turn, he moves 1. He decides he wants to go through this door. Now, you can only go through spaces that have doors to unlock new areas. So he's going to go ahead and kick down this door and see what's behind it. So we're looking for something that has ground on it. So he's going to choose this one. He's going to flip it over. Now he can choose which way it's oriented, all that he wants. And he's going to choose this way. So he chooses this one, and then he moves into that room. Now, rooms have different symbols on them, and depending on what the symbol is what you get as a result. He has one that has a raven on it. Now, ravens are omens. Omens are sometimes beneficial items. However, once an omen card is drawn, we need to make a roll for a haunt. However, on these die, it goes up to a maximum of 2 pips. You'll roll a number of dice equal to number of omens that are in play, which right now, he's going to take this one. It's only going to be 1. So he's going to roll a dice. He gets a 1. As long as it doesn't meet or exceed 5 pips, then the haunt doesn't begin. So he gets this item called the book. And basically you'll read and you'll get whatever the benefit is on it. Every single one of these cards are different. For this one here, he gets the book. It says add 1 to the result of your knowledge rolls. So everything that's knowledge based that would ask you to roll, every location that would ask you to roll something for knowledge, he gets a +1 on it. So he moved, which he did there. That would end his turn. However, let's say he hadn't moved into there yet. He can take a special action once per turn. Those typically are depending upon what your cards allow you to do. You can trade items and omens with other characters. So let's say he wanted to give this to Jaden Jones, and he would just need to meet up with him and give him that item. Discover new tiles is what we talked about with moving through there, and that would end his turn. He would move into there, and that would end his turn. That's pretty much it. I mean, the play of this is not super hard. It gets hard once you get into the haunt aspect because there's just so much variety in those. So that would end his turn. It would move to Jaden Jones' turn next. He's going to kick down this door. Flip another one. Yeah, he kicks down the gymnasium. So this one says, when you discover this tile, gain 1 speed. So whenever he kicks down this, his speed goes up. So you go over here to his speed and it goes up a bit. So that's that. This continues going around and around until eventually we have enough of these omens in play that we roll again. Once again, second omen in play. We're not going to get what we need. Got very close, but not quite. Third omen comes into a play eventually. Third dice is added. We roll, and we're good. Then a fourth one comes into a play eventually. Roll. Still nothing. Wow. Okay. Well, then we get to the fifth one. And you know it's probably coming here. No, that's 3. They got extremely lucky in that they got to another one being added in. So 6. Surely it's going to start now. Yes. And that's enough. So now the haunt will start. Once you've gotten your roll, then you're going to look at whichever of these blue ones you chose at the beginning of the game, and you're going to look at the back side. And so since we chose, the last one we picked up was Ring, we're going to look at haunt number 29, and the traitor is whoever the haunt revealer is. Whoever is the haunt revealer reveals numbers 29 in this instance. A beautiful garden. And basically, whoever the haunt revealer is will read this section in their book, number 29 for this, and they will leave the room and go examine it by themselves. Whoever the traitor is reads into the Traitor's Tome, which is this red book here. The other players look into the Secrets of Survival, and they will read number 29. This gives information to the other players on how to handle this, and it kind of explains the scenario a bit. The Traitor's Tome gives information to whoever the traitor is and any monsters that might be in play with that. You'll read the top part, which has an introduction, and you'll do the setup part. Oftentimes, traitor needs to kill everyone. Oftentimes, the other people need to kill the traitor or escape. So, every single scenario is different. Every single case is a little bit different. They have a number of items that are supplementary that work towards whatever the case is. And there's just a whole bunch of different... Hi, Tony. Okay, bud. At the end of the game really depends on which scenario you pull and what that scenario entails. Every single case is different, and every single case is a little bit weird. So, if you have any questions about a specific haunt and how they... If you have a question about a specific haunt and how it works, feel free to get into the comment section below. There's just too much to get into in this video. Other things to note are there are events, and events have different things that'll make you roll depending on where you go. If you go to a room and it has a spiral, you need to pull an event card, and it has you do different things. This example here, this one asks you to make a knowledge roll. Some of them ask you to make speed rolls, different things like that. Items are things that can help you. And if you go into a room and it has what looks like a bull skull on it, then it has an item there that can potentially help you. That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of this game. There are 3 different levels as well. You have the upper landing, the basement landing, and then you have the ground floor. And they have different locations that have to add things to each location. Line of sight. So let's say White here was trying to target Blue. Let's say he had a gun. If he could reach them, if there's no interruption as far as like there's no walls between them, then he has line of sight. So he could shoot her from all the way over here without being close to her. You can also shoot from the same room. Line of sight just allows you to do that. If, let's say, he was in a room here, he would not have line of sight on her because it needs to go in a straight line one way or the other. Also, whenever attacking someone, you roll your might on them. And it can vary depending on haunt to haunt, but typically you're going to roll whatever it asks you to roll. In this case, we'll roll might. That's 4 dice, and you know that because it's what the number is here. So that's 4, you would roll those. And that's, 3. Not particularly great. Let's say Blue's might was 3 dice, and then they would just need to roll 3. They would just roll 3. And 3. So that meets, so no damage would be taken. No damage would be taken, and that's how it works with attacking. It's a fun Halloween spooky horror type game, and it's a lot of different haunt scenarios, and so it has a lot of replayability. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and like I've said, please reach out to us if you have any questions about how to play the game. It's not a hard game in how to play. It's not a hard game in how to set up. But there's just a lot of variables inside the game itself that can make it a bit tricky. But I hope you enjoy the game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you next time because that's the way we roll. Blank.